What's old is new again in Lincoln, Nebraska. What's going on, everybody? Big Ten Ted coming at you. Of course, the big matchup, Huskers and Michigan, coming up this Saturday night. It got me thinking a little bit. Can this triple option attack that Nebraska has revived, so to speak, can that be successful? Is it a sustainable offensive game plan against the likes of Michigan, Ohio State, Wisconsin, Iowa, those defenses and those good teams that Nebraska is going to face going forward? And I believe it can. What I saw against Northwestern was the best executed offensive game plan that Nebraska has had this season. And their offensive line has been hit or miss. Now, they played pretty well in this one, but I looked at the tape a little bit more, and I'm saying maybe I can't think of a better term, but maybe they're neutralizing their offensive line. Instead, let's get the ball quick and let's get our athletes in space. And let's let our athletes get 5 yards down the field in a snap of a finger before that front seven can match up. And the offensive line just needs to get a little bit of a push to get downfield to spring us to the next level. Nebraska has to take advantage with the players and the skill set that they have. And right now the option game favors their skill set. They have a lot of fast players, a lot of speed, a lot of skill in that running game. You look at their running game, you have all of these, like Jaquez Yant is now bursting onto the scene. You have Ramir Johnson is back there. Of course, Adrian Martinez has some speed and can create plays with his feet. Then you focus in on those receivers that get involved in the option games. Xavier Betts and what he was able to do. He's got speed, maybe the fastest kid on the team. And then Omar Manning is a guy that's going to be able to get involved in the passing and the running game. I really believe, because of what their offensive line is looking like and all of those skill players, what better way to get all of your skill players involved than having possibly 3 or 4 players carry the football or touch the football on a given play, an option of going to one of those 3 or 4 players on each and every single play. For example, if Nebraska trots out a formation, say they got 2 backs and 3 receivers, you've got Jaquez Yant, you've got Ramir Johnson, Adrian Martinez, Xavier Betts, you've got all these guys out there. Whether it's running the football or throwing the football, any one of these guys can touch the football. That is scary, that is dangerous, that is hard to game plan for from a defensive standpoint. And then we haven't even talked about RPOs, right? Run pass option. When you have the ability to run triple option football and then we can slide it out with a screen pass or a short pass a little bit down the field from Adrian Martinez to a guy like Oliver Martin or Samori Toure, for example. This is a Nebraska offense. I saw last week they are extremely comfortable executing in the option game. You take a look at this game against Michigan. How do you neutralize a guy like Aiden Hutchinson? You run option off of him. He's the read guy. He comes to the quarterback, you pitch it. He goes to the pitch man, you keep it. It's simple option 101 football. And maybe in the running game, that's how they can neutralize these really good defensive teams. These really good defensive players is using them as a read man so you can just read off of them and make the play that you have to. I honestly think this is a great thing that Nebraska is doing. They're involving all of their skill players because they got a good amount. Right? This is an underrated team from a national standpoint. I think people who follow the Big Ten know Nebraska has some talent, and this option game can go wild. I'm excited to see if this Saturday that they pull it out. And if they execute well against a good defense like Michigan, you're going to see a lot more of it. Now, you're still going to have to throw the ball the regular 20, 25, sometimes 30 times a game. But this option game only helps the pass game, right? If you're able to execute the option the way, or even half the way they did against Northwestern, that opens up the passing game as well. I think this Nebraska offense has the ability in the second half of the season to really explode with this option game. The one thing we found out last week is this can be a big time weapon against defenses because they have no idea where the play is going. This isn't like 90s Nebraska football. It's not like Army, Navy, Georgia Tech. It's not like any of those Paul Johnson teams or whatever. It's not where you bunch everybody in and you run quick reads. You spread out, right? You're spread out 3 receiver formations, 4 receiver formations. You're going pistol. You maybe got a back to your right, to your left, or both. That spreads out the defense. Less guys in the box, getting your athletes in space. on the perimeter, I think, is exactly what Nebraska needs to focus on in terms of the running game going forward. And Scott Frost is a smart coach. Look, all this stuff that said Scott Frost ought to be gone. He's a good coach. And you're kidding yourself if you don't think you're in a better spot now than you were with Mike Riley a couple of years ago. Scott Frost has this team going forward. And maybe if they can get a couple of signature wins, he's going to be able to really expand and get some more recruits and hopefully keep some guys in Lincoln, Nebraska, and out of the transfer portal. What do you guys think? You think option football is here to stay? A little bit of a different of option football than we saw back in the heyday in the 1990s and early 2000s. Is it here to stay, or is it a fluke? Is it a one-week fluke? Is it, hey, Northwestern, who cares? They're bad. Throw it out. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Also, leave your thoughts. Who you got? Nebraska, Michigan. Who's going to win that one? Subscribe to Big Ten Ted for Big Ten football content. I'm Big Ten Ted. We'll see you in the next one.